Kaitlyn Peace, and I am here with Billy, Sam, and Chris of Softspoken. They are a post-hardcore band from right here in Cincinnati, Ohio. How's it going, guys?
Doing well.
Awesome. Thank you for being here. I feel like first I've got to acknowledge that I can see your entire faces.
Yeah.
And you can see mine.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
So great.
It's an in-person interview.
Yeah, absolutely. So that kind of segues into my first question. What did you do over quarantine, and was this EP a product of the quarantine?
I would definitely say that it is 100%. I think our main goal was, to put our main focus into the music, to have an opportunity to kind of like expand on what it is that we want to improve on musically, or what did we not do on the last record that maybe we wanted to showcase on this one. And we spent lots of time like researching like what other people like may have like wanted to hear on the last album that they didn't have an opportunity to hear. For example, his screams are a little bit like more prevalent on this EP, and that was because we listened to people that kind of wanted to hear a little bit more of that. Not like it was a complaint or anything that we didn't have in the previous music, but it was more or less like they knew what he was capable of, and they wanted to kind of hear that more, and among other things that we've kind of added to the new album.
Yeah, we made 2 music videos during quarantine.
Oh, awesome.
So like we didn't let COVID like stop us, whereas I know a lot of artists like in the music scene and in other art forms were struggling, and it probably broke a lot of people.
Sure.
But that's just like the testament of the time, and like how passionate are you, and this group super passionate, and like this EP represents like just friendship and family and just passion in general, and like it's beyond music, and that's what has kept us together. It's just you can look at COVID as being a negative thing, but like for us, you've got to take what you're rolling with in life and turn it into something positive, and that's what we've always been about. And bring it on, like and like now, and we made music through it, and we survived through it, and now that things are opening up, like can't wait to get out there and share it with people.
You have a tour upcoming, right?
Yeah, a little short guy, kind of.
Yeah, kind of in the works. We have a couple local shows,
Okay.
and then a few things in the works for later in the year.
What's your first local show?
Yes, it's August 19th at Blue Note in Harrison.
Okay,
And it's
cool.
going to be with bands Awake at Last and Varsity.
Awesome.
So it's going to be a killer show.
Very
So
cool.
everyone watching this interview, you got to come out. Like, it's going to be so good. And I've been trying to coin this new phrase, post-hardcore delight. And seriously, that's exactly what the show is.
I love that. I love making up like subgenres of subgenres.
Yes,
I do that all the
exactly.
time.
It's good. That is exactly what the show's going to be like. It had to have Awake at Last and Varsity in Cincinnati. Like, it's going to be a super treat. And Chris, I don't know if I can say that or not, but Chris is definitely involved with a lot of what Varsity does because he manages them.
Varsity.
So like it's gonna be super cool. It's gonna be family oriented. It's gonna be like like we've been on tour with the Wake at Last.
Now that music's coming back, that first show, it just feels like a celebration. Like,
it's gonna be a celebration show. So anyone watching, like that's gonna be Softspoken's comeback, live show, and to have Awake at Last and Varsity join us is gonna be like a reunion. So it's gonna be great.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So on your new EP, the title track, you worked with Alexia Rodriguez, and she is from the band I Set to Kill from Tempe, I believe, Arizona.
Yeah.
How was that? How did you guys connect?
So we toured with them on our release tour for Death Perception, or LP, that came out 2019.
Okay.
We were the opener on that tour with them and Awake at Last. Nice. So we connected with them, and I Set to Kill is also managed by the agency that I work for as a manager, so we kind of had a connection there. When we were in the studio kind of like putting that song together, our producer we worked with, Andrew Bayless, he kind of like pitch shifted everything to like be in the same key, and we were like, man, that kind of sounds like Alexia. It was his vocals, and then we were like, oh, we should get Alexia on this song. So we just kind of reached out to her, and she was totally into it.
Awesome.
So,
Very cool.
And it's fitting for that song too specifically, so it's cool to have like a female's perspective and to have female artists on it, a rock and roll female, which is sweet. And like I love all the rock and roll females out there. It's badass. And the song is about the women in my life and just home in general, and like the women that have made us the men who we are. We wouldn't be the good men we are without the good women in our lives too.
I like that.
So it's perfect that she got to be.
That's great. far as the post-hardcore, etc. scene here in Cincinnati, what is that like? I feel like I don't hear about this type of scene very often here. I don't know if I live under a rock, but I do love this genre, so I feel like I would know. But how's it been being a post-hardcore band in Cincinnati?
I'd say that it's been a little bit stand out because I've been playing in bands for probably the past 8 years,
really
8 to 10 years.
Yeah.
Like we ever.
It can be a little bit like niche, and that's not always a bad thing. But I've noticed that like the bulk of the bands that are from Cincinnati are kind of like metal or like hardcore or like punk. Maybe even there's a strong alternative indie scene.
Oh, for sure.
I've noticed
That's
too.
definitely what I would say is the overwhelming amount of local bands.
Exactly, yeah. So since we kind of mold somewhere in the middle,
Yeah.
I mean, you would think it might be easy, to try to slide into the confines of of all of these, crowds and demographics. But it can be kind of difficult, sometimes. I feel like the bands that I always played in were like metal bands, like way heavier than this, like generally. So I felt like it was kind of easier at certain aspects to draw some people in. It's just kind of the way it is, everybody in all different areas, we all come from different backgrounds, so there's no way to 100% like project like what genre is going to be huge in this area or not. But it's not to say that like we don't have people here that like us and listen to us, but we've noticed that we've got some strong markets just like outside of the city.
Yeah. Do you guys play in Lexington often? Did they have a good scene there? Because I know like Picturesque is from there, right?
Yeah,
you toured with them, didn't you?
Yeah, well, we played locally, and we're really close. Like the studio we go to is owned by their old drummer, the original drummer. But yeah, we've played in Lexington once, but I feel like Lexington's kind of the same. Like it's got really good bands, but I don't know if the scene is really there right now. And kind of same with Louisville. Like it's got great post-hardcore bands, but a lot of like heavier. I feel like. But I mean, we love like we try to like spice our songs with some of those heavier elements.
Yeah.
It's
good because you kind of partially fit into a lot of different things.
Yeah,
so that
maybe that's our problem.
Like, right. Being kind of a standalone is good and bad, right? Because it may be harder to find like a build that you fit on, but you're also really flexible and you're really unique. So I think that's a good balance.
I think so. I like it. We're soft-spoken. We're just like hang out in the back.
And your name is Softspoken and you scream.
Yeah.
Right, it's definitely
like an ironic viewpoint.
Yeah, it's
Exactly.
definitely technically loud spoken, I guess.
Yeah, I like it. Is there anything else that you would like to share with our audience?
I mean, obviously we just released a new EP, Where the Heart Belongs, so.
It's 1 month old today.
Yeah, it is actually, yeah, exactly. So check it out, check out the videos.
Yep. And
come see us on the 19th.
The 19th
August
of
19th.
August at Blue Note Harrison. Thank you guys so much for being here with me today.
Of course.
Thanks for tuning in. I will talk to you very soon.
Burn to ashes, all the world is gone. Love put a gun to her head. Darkened clouds blocking out the sun. Thinking now on things unsaid.